Yes, good morning everyone. Dear media representatives, distinguished guests, warm welcome here to our press conference on the occasion of the Euro 2024 Football Championship in Germany, here in the residence of the German ambassador. Let me quickly introduce our special guests and speakers for today. First of all, Thomas Hitzlsperger, who is here. I mean, he's a well-known football star. The ambassador will introduce him later, but he's now here visiting Bucharest in his capacity as football ambassador for the Euro 2024 in Germany. Warm welcome. Then we have Mr. Tim Steinhaus. He is Managing Director of Euro 2024 for Hospitality Experience, and we will learn a little bit more about that later on. And of course, our friends and partners from the Romanian Football Federation, Vlad Munteanu, Sports Director and of course football profi, you all know him, and Mr. Maris Nicolai. Thank you very much for joining us today. And now I pass on the floor to the Ambassador, Pierre Gebauer.
Thank you very much, Benedetta. A very warm welcome to all of you, also from my end. It's always a pleasure to start off the week with this wonderful passion of all of ours with football. Great to have you here. Let me start by congratulating Romania once again, the federation, the team, the fans, for qualifying. We played an outstanding tournament, qualification round, and we are happy to have Romania in Germany. You know, Germany will be proudly hosting the Euro 2024 tournament this summer, and nobody is better suited than Thomas Hitzlsperger to tell us a bit more about this tournament, about our vision. No need to introduce you, Thomas, but I'll do it nevertheless. One of the greatest German players internationally for the national team and for a number of club teams, very successful. You've been part of the third place national team that played the 2006 World Cup in Germany. You were part of the second place team at the Euro 2008, losing the final to Spain, but he had an outstanding tournament, being a key player. And of course, in your club career, you have managed to play and score in three major European leagues, Premier League, Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, I think United. You played for Lazio Rome, and of course you're most known to me as a hero of VfB Stuttgart, which some of you might know is my favorite team. So you've been part of the 2007 championship team of Stuttgart, scoring the most decisive goals at the end of the season. And just maybe as we have another protagonist of that game here with Vlad, in this final game, Stuttgart needed at least a tie. And as fate had it, Stuttgart was down 1 goal because Vlad was so kind to pass the ball to Radu, who scored for Energy Campus. But then you came, Thomas, and you managed to hit in the ball in this miraculous and very signature-like way under the pole bar, and the game was tied and Stuttgart sailed to the championship. So, a very, very successful career as a player. You had a very, very successful career afterwards, which is always a great thing to have as a football player, to move on. Been active in journalism as somebody who wrote for a number of newspapers. You've been on TV as a commentator. You also managed the VfB Stuttgart team as a CEO, so you had a great professional career in this management segment as well. And so it's no surprise at all that you've been named by the German federal government as one of our football ambassadors for the Euro 2024. Thomas, tell us a bit more about your vision and our vision for the tournament.
Well, thank you very much, and first of all, welcome everybody. I have to admit, it's a great honor to be here. The ambassador, the fact when I arrived last night, it was I didn't know much about Bucharest or Romania. And we arrived, and it was a special evening because Ian Lupescu was here. I met Ciprian Marica as well, and we watched Leverkusen a little bit. We were allowed to watch Leverkusen win the Bundesliga, and that was a great introduction. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here today and do this, because as an ambassador for the German Foreign Ministry in combination with the Euros, for me, you might say it's not surprising. For me, it is always surprising, because knowing where I come from, I've come a long way, but it's also a great privilege to represent the German Foreign Ministry and the government because we will host this European Championships in the summer, and we look forward to it a great deal. And I have to admit, it's great to be here because also congratulations on the team of Romania to qualify for the European Championships, doing it in a great fashion, winning the group stages. And I think when I look at the group now in the Euros with Belgium, Slovakia and Ukraine, I'm quite optimistic, and no disrespect to the other three teams, that you can qualify and go even further. And what is my role? I mean, obviously we spoke to the Foreign Minister, Annalena Baerbock, and we said, we as ambassadors, we have several ambassadors, I'm one of them, to visit the nations that come to Germany in the summer. To say, we really look forward to having you in Germany. We want you to have a great time. We want to encourage a lot of fans here, obviously from Romania, to come to Germany and watch the games. The team, when they go to Würzburg, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a great time. Vlad, we spoke briefly about it. Some of you have been there already. And what is the beauty about this tournament? I've experienced this 2006 in the World Cup, so I was in the squad. I know what it felt like being part of the team. But the weird thing was, all of my family and friends who were watching the games, they said they had a wonderful time. Maybe they had a better time than I had, because I didn't play much. So now I have the privilege to be there as a fan, represent the country and say, let's have a great time. The beauty about this tournament in Germany is having guests from around Europe, and I would say around the world, to enjoy football, to have something to talk about in a really nice way. I know nowadays life is not always easy, but we want this tournament to be something where people meet from all over the world, have a great time, enjoy football, and really get together. That's why the slogan obviously is united by football in the heart of Europe. That's what we want to be. But also with the history of previous tournaments in other countries, our standard, what we are trying to achieve in a sense of social and ecological sustainability, are very high. So of course we would try to encourage people using the train. I think there are very good deals. And I'm not saying everybody here from Bucharest should take the train to Germany. I know it's a long train journey. But when you're there in Germany, I think that's a really good option to get around. Knowing that the team is based in Würzburg and going to Köln, Frankfurt and Munich, that's all very easy to get to. Those are one of the things. What is also quite unique about UEFA, German FA, and the government, the German government, they signed a human rights treaty for the first time ever, really taking care of the workers' rights, and also taking a strong emphasis on diversity, fighting discrimination, and acting for inclusion. So those are all the elements that we think are very important nowadays, and that's why I'm looking forward to this tournament. And again, using that, for me, privilege, traveling to nations who come to us and being here now again. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to today and tomorrow.
Fantastic, thanks so much. Indeed, sustainability is a key feature, and as we just spoke about it, Vlad, I think the Romanian team is taking the train to the games you just mentioned. Is that true?
It's something that, first of all, thank you for inviting us here, Your Excellency. Happy to have you here, Thomas team. Welcome to Romania. On behalf of our federation, on behalf of our president. Yes, it's something regarding the sustainability. Yes, it's something that we are keen on implementing as UEFA objective and the local organization committee. I know that taking in consideration there are at the last Euro there were 52 flights used during the Euro. We have now, I think, in the status like 12 flights altogether. So. It's something that is really positive, and we are also looking into ways of making the transportation so that implementing this plan. So it's not written in stone, but we are taking this into consideration and trying to help.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now back to Thomas. Maybe a word on the German team. We've struggled a bit in these last matches last year, but I think new optimism has returned a bit. How do you see our chances?
Well, yes, I think it's good that we're not in the same group as Romania, because I think right now would be concerned for Germany. But no, you're absolutely right. The last two friendly matches against France and the Netherlands, they've been very positive, won both games. and some new optimism has come back to the German team, to the German football fans, and that is also very important because so many people look forward to this tournament, and what is key is that we have a team that's competitive, that can go all the way and win the tournament. So I think Julian Nagelsmann made some key changes. He changed the squad, brought in some players who weren't there before, but who played well in the Bundesliga this season. Another key player might be Toni Kroos. He's come back after having retired from the national team. He played 2 really good games. So yeah, I'm more optimistic. And again, looking back, I think it's the support from the home crowd that's something that the team needs. Because when I look at the favourites, I still see France as a very good team. England, I see them, Portugal, they're very good teams. But playing at home for the German team could be an advantage. But overall, I'm not pessimistic. I'm just saying the last 2 games have been important. And the atmosphere has improved, and that's why we have more smiles on our faces now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now we want to, of course, Germany wants to be a great host again, like it was in 2006, with lovely weather, great atmosphere. And as you've said, I think it's more important than ever to unite on a positive note in these sometimes very challenging and dire times. You've touched upon Romania having played an outstanding qualification round indeed. I also was actually cheering very much for them to have them on board, and it's fantastic to now have Romania participating. Have you had much experience in your professional career with Romanian teams? Did you play any of them in the past?
It's funny because when I came here yesterday, I thought about it, and the first thing that came to mind was the 5-1. But I watched it on TV. I wasn't part of that team. I remember sitting at home, and then my dad said, "Oh, you've got to watch this Germany losing against Romania, like in a really bad fashion." And that was my first memory. But other than that, I can't remember now. But what I do say now, having been here for less than a day, but already meeting a lot of people, not just you, Vlad, now, but Ciprian again, and Jan last night, said the connection's about to begin. And in this role, in this capacity right now, I will take more interest in what's going on with Romanian football when I watch the Euros and maybe work as a commentator. Have a closer look at what's going on because I've met a lot of nice people already, and I can only wish the best for the national team. And then me personally, of course, I can never rule out, and I don't want to rule out coming back because so far the impression is very, very good.
Glad to hear. And I think we both agree, let me say, the Romanian fans are very welcome in Germany, right? And we'll have a fantastic atmosphere with them.
100%. I think Tim can say later how many have already bought tickets, but people from Romania to come to Germany and maybe experience the country for the first time, or Romanian people living in Germany, and there's quite a few. And that's always the beauty to then, let's say Romanian people who live in Germany to get the chance to see their heroes play live in those stadiums that they maybe are familiar with. We are so excited to have Romanian fans coming to Germany, and we just want to offer the best that we have. And I think you will experience exactly that. The passion. German football fans are extremely passionate and also very welcoming. I can say that from my own experience, and that's why I can only encourage you to come. You're going to have a great time, but we can't guarantee great weather. As you said, 2006, that was the cherry on the cake, but this time I can't guarantee it, but even if the weather is not perfect, you are going to have a very good time.
Fantastic. Thomas, you've always been much more than just an outstanding player. You've, in your career and afterwards, been active as a civil voice, speaking out against hatred, against racism, against xenophobia. You're one of the first professional players coming out openly as gay. You have been very strong in criticizing the commercialization of football and the fact that we move towards money and sort of lose the spirit of the game. And all of your experience, you've sort of bundled in a lovely book that you will also maybe say a few words about.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity. The book that you can see here, I brought out last month. And yeah, that was my experience. What was crucial for me was, for the first time, and you both can probably relate to this, when I moved to England at the age of 18, I was a foreigner for the first time in my life. And unless you're a foreigner yourself, you don't know what it's like. And then it was so much easier for me to judge, and that's why you say, maybe I'm suited for this role. Yes, I have really enjoyed traveling the world, going to different countries, and looking at different perspectives. And football can be wonderful if everybody sticks to the rules, if if we stick to fair play, togetherness, and team spirit. But when you kind of stand out a little bit, when you're not mainstream, and that was my experience, as you said, with when I realized that I'm gay, suddenly there is no role models. I was different, and then I thought I don't belong to football anymore, and that was really a sad acknowledgement for me. But I love the game so much that I said to myself, like, I have to find a way to still be part of it. And as great as football can be, and usually is, there are certain developments I don't agree with. Money plays a big role, and it's great that money, helps the game to grow. But sometimes money finds really strange ways to disappear, and exclusion of people just because they're different is something I don't accept. And that was for me something that I wanted to raise my voice for. And having lived abroad, I said discrimination for me is just unacceptable, based on the colour of your skin, your religion, or whatever. And in my case, sexual orientation. And that's why it was important to say I want to write a book about the positive aspect of football, but also use that platform to say whenever things are going wrong, I do believe it's my responsibility to stand up and raise my voice, and others can do so. Not everybody has to. If you don't have anything to say, don't. But I take it as my responsibility to do that, so thank you very much, and hopefully people will enjoy that.
Oh yes, you're certainly a role model in much more than the football way, also for your staunch standing up for these values and aspects. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thomas, maybe we'll move on to Tim Steinhaus, Managing Director for Hospitality Experience of Euro 2024 and part of the organization team, so to speak. Please.
Yeah, thanks, the excellence, and thanks for being here yesterday evening. A warm welcome here in Bucharest, Romania, and it's a great city, so we enjoy it very much being here. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I think it's just 60 days to go. It's not that much time until the first whistle of the Euro 2024. We are going to hear it, and the kickoff is taking place in Munich, and I think the preparations are going really, really well, and I just want to maybe give you a bit of an insight where we are standing at the moment in terms of preparation. And I think it's going to be a great tournament everybody can really look forward to. And Thomas, you just said it, it's the topic is United by Football, and I think it's a really important theme in the current times we are living in. Because football and sports can create unity among different nations, among different people, wherever they come from, whatever their skin color is, whatever their sexual orientation is. And so for us, for everybody in the organizing team, and for the German people, it's a festival. It's a European festival we are going to host in summer in Germany, and everybody is invited to come to Germany and celebrate football with us together. And I think that's the beauty about football. And the host cities, we have 10 venues where the European Championship is taking place, and the host cities are doing everything to dress up. And it's really called city dressing because we want that UEFA Euro is visible in all of the 10 cities, and people feel really welcomed in those cities. And a lot of activities are planned in each and every city. We referred back to 2006, where Germany hosted the World Cup, and a lot of people remember partying, celebrating, having a great time in Germany. And I think, as well as Germans, it was a milestone back then, because people from abroad, they looked differently afterwards on German culture, on what is possible, or what about the culture in Germany, about what can I experience in Germany. So I think it was great advertising in general for the German country, and the host cities are really looking forward to repeat that. So I think everyone who will travel to Germany, it's not only about the Romanian venues playing in Frankfurt, Cologne, and Munich. I think it's a tip to go everywhere and use the time coming to Germany in summer and experience more than just the cities where you're playing at. And maybe they make it to the knockout phase, so you have the chance to travel a bit further based on the great qualification you played. Also important is to say, we talked about sustainability, but we also talk about inclusion, and we talk about volunteers. What does it need, what does it take to organize such a tournament? We will have 16,000 volunteers that work for free during Euro to be part of this experience and to organize the tournament. I think it's a massive number in order to make that happen, that we can experience such a great summer experience. And we will have volunteers from all over Europe. It's not just German volunteers, we dedicated the volunteering work to be also European festivals. So we have people from all European countries taking part in the organization, and I think it's creating, or it's accelerating the European identity, and it's helping to grow understanding for each other and for the respective cultures. Working together for 4 weeks during summer, I think that's a great opportunity for a lot of volunteers. Yeah, in terms of sports, I think last week in Düsseldorf there was the team management workshop where all the team managers came to Düsseldorf to discuss a lot of topics during Euro. I think security is one of them, and I'm pretty sure in current times security is a topic for everyone, but I'm really certain that everything is set up to secure, or to have a secure tournament. That's what I really feel, and a lot of other things are currently planned. The team camps, I think you're going to Würzburg. It's a great area, it's a great region to have this team camp. Overall, it's 24 team camps, since there's a lot of travel that has to be organized and a lot of logistics. So that's the current status. What is planned from a bigger picture? So travel of all the teams throughout Germany at the moment. But also, it's a fun fact, what has also been discussed, how many beers are in the dressing room after each match. So it's from big to small. There are a lot of topics that have to be organized in order to run this tournament. We talked about tickets earlier, about the demand. We have a really big demand for the tournament throughout Europe. There was 110 million ticket requests. And the fun fact it was 90 million bots. So 90 million robots who applied for tickets. So we had to cancel them out in order to find the real application number, and that was 20 million. So in the end, there are 2.7 million tickets for this year's edition of Euro, and we had 20 million applications from all over Europe, and from Romania, I think it was about 500,000 ticket applicants who applied for becoming part of this Euros edition. And as I said earlier, I think it's an experience. The regular tickets are given away by a lottery. So in the end, and that's what we are basically doing, is there's also a hospitality program which is run basically for die-hard fans, but also for companies, and we invite everyone. If the lottery for the regular ticket hasn't been successful, there's always an opportunity to look out for hospitality tickets, which are still available, and to make use of the experience that is going to be offered during summer in Germany, and we are really looking forward to welcome everyone.
Thanks so much. Indeed, Romania is welcome. Germany and Romania are connected in really many ways, but football is one wonderful connection that we share. And two protagonists of this connection, Vlad and Nikolai, are here, having both played in the Bundesliga. Vlad, a few words on where Romania stands and the preparation for the tournament.
First of all, I would like to tell my friends from the media that I have team's number, so for the ticket request that you haven't received, look at his number, so no worries about it. I think our road to Euro was prepared, has started in 2014 when the current president took over the federation, and we started a building process. Imagine that we have 3 qualifications with under 21 at the final tournaments, under 19, the Olympic Games. So I think this next step for us is going to be an engine that will driven the development of football further in Romania. Honestly, I'm still upset semi-final. So even though we are friends, the competitiveness spirit is still there. Yes, I think our road to Euro will be nice to see it, and Your Excellency, please take your wife, your kids, come to the movie, because on the 17th of May we'll launch this movie, our road to Euro. And Thomas, as you have an experience, congratulations on the experience and sharing this life story telling. I think for the Romanian die-core fans, and not only for the youth, this movie will be an insight about what's happening in the locker room. You're going to see some nice speeches, the attitude and the spirit that we might think that will take us over the group phase. So it's really important for us being at this Euro, and it's a process that we have started, and we're hoping to invest much more back to Romanian football in club development, in youth development, because it's the foundation of the football pyramid.
Thank you indeed. I think this is the base, and the success of the federation in now achieving qualification gives proof that a lot has been done. So we keep our fingers crossed, and of course hope to see Romania move through the tournaments. Maybe we'll meet again in the final, who knows. Another one that I would like to introduce again, Marius Nicolai, you've also played for Bundesliga team Mainz, and I just learned that you played in the time of Jürgen Klopp, so that's certainly a name very recognizable. So a few words from your end.
First of all, thank you for your invitation, for your hospitality. Thomas, I was playing in this 5-1, sorry about that. Thank you one more time, because last year I was 2 times in German Federation. The organization and hospitality is great from my point of view, is the best. Our teams have 2 different objectives in this Euro. You, of course, you want to win, because you play at home. Us, to do better than other ones, but like you said, we hope to enjoy everybody, like the team, like supporters and everyone.
Yeah, it will be a fantastic tournament for both teams, I'm quite sure. So maybe we'll move on to Q&A if there's anybody who would like to.
So you can ask the question in English, or if Romanian, German is better, then we also have interpretation.
Please go. Okay.
Thomas, I want to ask you, who is your favorite Romanian player?
Well, obviously, I said I'm only starting to get into the team, so I just looked at the table, and there's no, I'm not going to tell you great stories here. I haven't followed the team in the way they went through. I know they've won the group stages with Switzerland and Andorra and the team Kosovo, but I'm not going to make any suggestions now. I think at Dubasic I saw at Spurs now, but what we said with Vlad, when you have players who play in top divisions, or they're squads and big teams but don't play, that's always a bit of a problem. I don't need to teach you what to do. I just said, being top of the group with only 5 goals conceded, it just sends a message. So I would assume that the team has a strong emphasis on having stability, not conceding goals. That's always a good basis to be successful in a tournament, but I can't go into players specifically because I just haven't watched enough, honestly.
I wanted to ask you if you have any interesting memories about opponents or about the games, because you played against Rapid, against Politivișoara, against Unirea Urziceni, Romanian teams. If you remember anything special about those games?
Yeah, Timișoara is the game that stands out, and I talked to Ciprian last night about this because he was involved in the penalty. So this was the Champions League qualifying game. We drew, I think, in Stuttgart, and we came to Timișoara and we won 1-0. Ciprian, he was doing a dive, so it wasn't. I think he admitted it. And no, that's obviously I'm joking. And then we won. So this is kind of the biggest memory. And just to say again, because I haven't spent much time here in Romania. But that stands out because for us as a club, it was also a big success to qualify for the Champions League. And the perception was always Romanian football is the teams in Bucharest. And then suddenly, you hear about Cluj and Timișoara. It's like, okay, what's going on in Romanian football? And I ended up being in Timișoara. It was a nice day overall because, of course, we were successful. But the big teams, as we talked about last night with Pesco, they have to work hard to get back and be successful. Steaua, Dinamo, all of them. But Timișoara is the best memory for me.
Hello, a question for Mr. Ambassador. You said that you follow the Romanian team. What's your favorite player?
I was impressed several times by Yanis Hagi. First because he was the main player scoring against Germany a few years ago, I don't know, 2-3 years ago in a match where he sort of cut through the German defense line in a miraculous way. And then, of course, his decisive goal against Israel in the decisive final match of the qualification round showed me that he's a great spirit. But to be honest, I've watched a few matches, and it's also maybe the older players, Puskás, or that sort of made a difference in the end. Ali Bek, the strong strikers up front that don't play for any big teams anymore, but they are there when they're needed. So I think it's a good mixture in that sense. Of course, biggest name now is Dragoshin, who has been also rumored to move to Bayern Munich before signing up with Tottenham. I haven't watched him that closely, but it's obvious to me that Romanian football has great talent. It always had great talent. And now it comes into play what Vlad, you've pointed out. There has been a bit of a gap between the golden generation, the 90s, beginning of the 2000s maybe, and a period where the Romanian football sort of did not perform up to the ability it should have. And I think this is changing now. The fact that the national team has qualified gives proof to that. And I'm very, very optimistic that Romania, as a great sports nation in general, will also excel in football again.
Anyone else? Any questions? Yeah.
Thomas, I want to ask you, what do you think about Romanian group at EURO? We can qualify in the next round. What do you think?
Yes, well, the thing is with Belgium, I've watched them recently. I was at the England-Belgium game. Belgium is a good team, okay, there's no denying. But when I say Slovakia and Ukraine is just qualified as one of the last 3 teams. And with Slovakia, of course, you have a chance. And like I said, when you're top of the group, so I was for a long time focused on who are the favourites, and you look at, France, like I said, Portugal, they've only conceded 2 goals, but top of the group, they won every single game. But then just going back through it again, you think, well, if you play that well in the qualifying rounds, then that means there is a good team spirit, there's a good development. As I've described, this is a group that's been together for a longer time. So the ingredients are there that they at least become second in the group, and I'll be quite optimistic. And as I said before, you have one fan more now in me, so maybe that helps a little bit.
And I want to ask you if you're happy for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, of course. I think it's first of all, they deserve to have won the Bundesliga. They've played an exceptional season so far. Have not lost a single game yet. And like I said, we watched it last night. It was impressive. It's great for them. I'm delighted for them, and it's also good for German football to have a new champion now, and to see that there's just one dominant force. So really, really impressed by how they played this season.
If we talk about German football, I wanted to ask you about the Champions League. If you think Bayern will go through with Arsenal, and who do you think is the favorite for this year's Champions League?
Well, I think I should say Dortmund. Yeah, I would probably disagree with Dortmund. It's not easy. I mean, yesterday again, because I also follow my former team Aston Villa. They beat Arsenal yesterday 2-0. So it's really interesting. Bayern did well in the first leg at Arsenal, but it's still the 2 teams, Man City and Real Madrid. I would say they're the best teams. I know Man City finds it difficult to really break through and be the top in the Premier League they are currently now. I would say the winner of the game between Real Madrid and Man City will win the Champions League. That's my guess. But credit to Bayern Munich with a difficult Bundesliga season. They got themselves in a good position. They play on Wednesday against Arsenal at home. But my guess would be the winner of Man City and Real Madrid will also go on to win the Champions League.
Thomas, how it was the meeting with Ionuț Lupescu?
It was great. It really was great. You can imagine, you know, we come here, first visit here with the ambassador as well, and to be here, we're talking about the game, and then I think I'm allowed to say that we watched it on the tablet, you know, the last few minutes, and to see him, I was sitting next to him, and also being happy, having that connection with the club, and to finally know that Leverkusen have won the Bundesliga. That was really great. Huge respect for him as what he's achieved as a player, but also him as a person. It was a really great evening talking to him for a long time. So I was very, very impressed. You know, obviously I was sat between Ciprian and Ion Lupescu, so this was a great evening. Yeah.
Any more questions? Okay. So then I would, we have some nice photos.
Indeed, ceremony of handover. Okay, thank you so much. We will now move quickly outside, where our former star players will score goals, try to score goals against the former star goalie. And so you can take a few pictures here at the shootout, at the penalty or free kick shootout. And then we'll also take a few pictures outside at the banner that you might have seen coming into the residence. And then, of course, there's also time and room for individual